Alia, can you message
How are
in?
you?
Yeah, thank you. Hi, yeah, I'm great. Thank you very much. Just waiting for a few more people to.
Yeah, I was contacting Mishali.
Okay, no worries at all.
She will be joining us soon.
Yeah, I'm okay. How are you?
How are you?
Good, yeah, it's okay. Thank you very
How was your
much.
evening?
Waiting for a few more people to jump on so we can start.
Okay, Mishali.
Oh, hi. Hi, lovely to meet you. Finally, I haven't met you yet, have
I
I? Yeah,
I
you too. It's
know.
great
I've
to
heard so much
finally
about
be
you.
on and speaking to you face to face. Good. How are you? Are you all right?
Yeah, it's really good.
Good,
Yeah, not too bad. Totally
good,
stepping
good,
my
good.
comfort zone
Good,
doing
good, good.
this,
Amazing. I
but
think
it's good.
Sharifa's trying to jump back
Good.
in. Oh, we'll wait and goodness, it's all been so
Um,
confusing trying to get everybody on.
I was trying to do it from the laptop and it
No,
won't let me
I think
request the joy.
I think you had to do it off of your phone.
So I know
Yeah. Thanks so much,
what I'm
guys, for
doing.
everyone jumping on. And I'm just gonna. I think
Yeah.
Sharifa's gonna jump back in, but I don't know where she went. I don't know if her connection cut out. Maybe I'm not too sure. So, oh, we've got.
Oh,
There we go. I think she's coming back in. There we go.
so,
I think she's coming back in. Where is she? Fine. We're just going to start by we're just going to go ahead and start getting things going because we can't sit here in silence, can we? So I just wanted you to kind of give a little introduction about kind of what it is that you do. Yeah. So if you just kind of go into it, give a slight introduction about
yeah.
what you do, and then we'll kind of go on from there with some questions.
Okay, cool. So, um, firstly, possibly, I don't know if everyone here knows exactly what a life coach is and what they do, because there's sort of some mixed messages out there that people think, oh my gosh, it's this, and So I'll sort of just tell you what a life coach does
Perfect.
and
Yeah.
then what I specialize in and stuff. Yeah. So yeah. So first things first, coaching's not therapy. Therapy sort of focuses on the past, and with coaching, we focus on the present, try and aim towards getting people to,
Yeah.
get to their future goals and so on. So, as a coach, I would partner with the client to explore like what's working in their life, what isn't working, and sort of create a vision of their personal goals. See, okay, what's holding them back from getting there, and then it's really working together to sort of build sort of small steps to get them, to their goals. Really, it's really just about being there to hold their hand through the journey, as opposed to giving advice or, at the end of the day, you're the expert in your own life. So it's not up to me to say, okay, you need to do this, this, and this,
So
because
it's
that's
more
not
so
what
kind of
coaching is
like a
about.
personalized support system, kind of generated specifically for you in your kind of, yeah, to be able to help build you up and get you over certain hurdles in your life. Yeah, I love that kind. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's really just a safe space for you to open up. And really,
Mm.
with coaching, it's about discovering your own answers, and you answer your own questions. Really, I mean, I'll ask the questions, and
Yeah.
you've got the answers. So it's just about
Yeah.
finding it. You might not necessarily know about it, because you haven't thought about it in that way. So it's about, sort of delayering
Yeah.
to get to those answers and finding them. So, I mean, I specialize as an empowerment and mindset coach. So, focus, hiya, you okay?
Yeah, I was trying to join. I don't know what was happening like the whole time.
You know,
Never
yeah.
mind, I'm here.
So that's something
You're
that I
here.
found with
That's
life
good.
coaching as well. I found going into it, I had a very different kind of not idea of it, but I had a very different concept of what life coaching actually was. And I was confused, but I thought that it was
Yeah.
more, I don't know how to explain what I thought it was because now I actually know what it is, you know? So I think before I kind of thought that it was kind of like a
Yeah.
therapy session, sort of, but more building, but it's completely the opposite.
Yeah.
You kind of get to your own conclusions and your own revelations.
Absolutely. I mean, with me, I sort of focus on empowerment and mindset. So I sort of help with the clients to gain like self-awareness, and support them to gain that clarity. So again, it's about making the wheels turn, you know, sort of building that confidence. Sort of, you know, you might have goals in mind, but you don't necessarily have the motivation to get to them. And there'll be things holding you back. So could be limiting beliefs even that you've grown up with, or you're conditioned that way through life experience, whatever it may be. And it's about overcoming those and, you know, moving forward, and regaining that control to get to the goal. So often it's
really
a case of stepping out of the comfort zone, really.
Yeah.
But totally. I think Sharifa's a good person to comment because she's had a few sessions, so she's got more of an idea now of what it is, you know.
I was just speaking to Mishali this like earlier today. I was telling her because when we were promoting coaching, and then, you know, we always like make sure to tell people that this is not therapy. It's nothing like therapy. And I always like what would be like if it's a life coach and a dating coach, and if it's not therapy, then what is it really? And then only when I started my session with Mishali, and then during the first session, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm getting to know what is this. And then the second, and then the third, and then I came to know that coaching is really all about yourself. It's like speaking to someone, clearly telling them what's on your mind, and you know, you already know what's your problem and what's the solution. You only need someone to guide you through it, and to tell you're already on your own way. You already know what's your problem and how to solve it. And it's nothing like someone treating you, or, you know, it's a therapy or nothing like that. It's all about you. And, you know, finally realizing that as a person, you can actually guide yourself through like any path.
Yeah, I feel like I went on a complete journey with kind of from my first session to my last session. It's a journey, isn't it? And I feel like you can kind of pinpoint, like if you structure your journey throughout your life coaching sessions, you can really see like your own personal growth throughout it. And I feel like that's something that really kind of impacted me with I had a few coaching sessions with Vanika. Mishali, do you know Vanika, yeah?
Yeah.
So I have
I've not met her, but I've heard of her.
It really did kind of, it is a journey, and it really opened my eyes to kind of the structure and how much patience obviously you guys have as well. So much kind of patience and knowledge of how to kind of build people up. And I think, I've got a lot of respect for you guys now. I understand it.
Yes. It really opens your mind, because, you know, when you have a therapist, you know, I think I started thinking that, you know, life coaching is really something very hard, because you have to wait there and listen to that person in front of you, but you can't give solutions. You tell them exactly what to do, because that's not coaching. Okay, therapy. You know, you have to listen to them, and, you know, feel what they actually know the solution is, listen to their problems and what they have and how to guide their path, and, you know, just give them that confidence that they can actually do it, that they have that empowerment, you know. I really enjoyed my sessions.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And it's so nice to actually be there to sort of see that transformation and to watch that journey unfold, because I mean, it's just, I mean, I think everyone needs a coach. Everyone needs a coach in whatever it is in their life, in all aspects of our life. It's really just about having someone there as a, you know, accountability cheerleader,
literally,
to say, hey, you've got this. Because there's times in your own life when you're sort of thinking, oh gosh, you know, I don't have this, and you question yourself. you know, sort of hurdles come and knock you down, and you sort of lose that power. But it's really just about building that self-belief again. And getting you to what, you know, it could be anything. It could be building a business. It could be, you know, your work life.
Yes.
Absolutely all aspects. And I think, I mean, why I like to focus on the mindset is because I really do think it's, you know, it's relevant in every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
You know, if you have the right mindset towards exercise, for example, hey, you know, you're going to get there. You know, whatever it is, it's just, I think it all starts with how you're taking on that situation, what you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, that's your inner voice. If you've got no willpower and you don't have that right mindset, it doesn't matter what you do, it's not going to get there. So you have to work on that.
It's like coaching,
you know,
guides you back
as a
to your inner
starting
voice
point.
and like makes you hear it again. So like, without the coach, you kind of lose that inner, your conscious voice. You kind of, you can't hear it anymore. And then coaching kind of builds you up to kind of listen to that little voice inside yourself. Yeah. On the same kind of note, Mishali, what kind of inspired you to become a coach in this kind of, in this field? Hey, Harry, sorry, we're missing out on saying hello to people. Hi, Priya. Hey, Raja. Hi, Harvey, everybody.
Mishali.
Hi.
I've been through saying hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so with my personal journey, I've well, share a little bit about myself without getting into too much detail and boring you. But so I've personally overcome a lot of struggles in my own life. And I mean, these have stemmed from when I was 17. I got, you know, a health condition, you know, health struggles I've dealt with. And it just started from there. You know, loss of parent, moving to a foreign country, you know, divorce, so many, I can't even, you know, start to finish naming them all. But the point is that there've been hurdles, there've been struggles, and you have two choices. At the end of the day, you can either, you know, sink or swim, really, you know. And I think for me, I've never been a victim. I don't believe in being a victim or, you know, that sort of mentality. And I kind of had to find that strength in myself to sort of, you know, get myself out of it, move forward and overcome these, you know, struggles that I went through. So I kind of felt I've always been an empath. I've always been somebody that people come to for advice. And, you know, I've always been that person. And I think during lockdown, what happened? So I was living in Australia and I moved back in 2018. And I was sort of coming out of like the finance industry. I thought, right, I don't want to do that anymore. And sort of really sort of lost to what I'd like to do. But I've always wanted to help people. And during lockdown, I came across, I don't know if you know, Jay Shetty Certification School.
I think I've kind of heard.
So through Jay Shetty. So Jay Shetty started a certification school, coaching, and I just saw it come up on my social media, and it struck a chord. I just thought, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I looked into it, and it just resonated with me on so many levels that I thought, right, okay, I can actually use my own personal journey to sort of help other people and empower other people to, you know, sort of navigate theirs, really.
I was going to
So it's,
I was going to say that your personal experiences have probably really kind of helped you feel like you can really, really help people through. And clearly, it's amazingly well. And Sharifa has sung your praises. So I feel like if you've got personal experience with things, you can help.
Doesn't, you know, yours actually inspires people because, you know, you said that you have been doing something for a very long time. And then, you know, just, you know, one time you figured that this is not something that you want to do or something that you have lost passion for. And then you find your true passion, you find your true self. So, you know, this also inspires other people that, you know, it's never too late for anything. You know, you have to fix your age. you know, and then your passion to something or your career to something. So, you know, this inspires people on so many levels.
Yeah, I think that it's about, I don't think it's about the right, you know, at the right time, the right opportunities, the right thing, just, you know, come into your life. And had it not been for my personal journey, I might not have been where I am today.
Yeah, exactly.
Might not have been able to do something that I absolutely love. And so I think it's, you know, everyone goes through their own journey, but we sort of tell ourselves, I'm too old for this, I can't do that, oh, you know, whatever. But we're telling ourselves that that's our belief, when really it's not a fact, is it? Do you know, is that a fact, that you're actually too old to do that? Well, we don't, but we convince ourselves, and by doing that we're sort of like, oh, okay, you know, what are we stopping ourselves from really achieving, or, you know, the life that we want to live, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree, because, you know, from my one sessions from Mishali, so I would tell her what I was thinking, and then, you know, they were not actually true, some negative thoughts, and she'd be like, you know, it's only you are thinking that, it's only your beliefs, no one actually thinks that, no one actually takes it the negative way that you are thinking. So yeah, I totally agree with you. So keep in our mind, but, you know, it's not actually true.
Mishali, what's your kind of specification? Well, not a specification, that sounds like a kind of list of demands that you need to see a coach. But what would your kind of general overview be of like the person who needs to see a coach, or who you would recommend going to see a coach? What would you kind of look for, or what would you kind of notice about somebody?
I don't think it's something that you'd notice. I think it's a fact of, I think everybody on some level, in some area of their life, needs a coach. I mean, it's, you know, it's a fact. All the successful people out there have coaches, because it's about having that someone there to back your corner. But I mean, for me, let's just say my clientele really has been, and, you know, who I generally help, people who are maybe a roadblock in their life, or they've got limiting beliefs holding them back from getting to their goals. Somebody that really, you know, they've got this fixed mindset that this is the way it is, this is it, right? And it's very closed, and to sort of change that to sort of open and, you know, a growth mindset, really, that, okay, I can achieve and I can sort of make many things happen if I allow them to, if I allow myself to be open to them. So for me, it's just really about somebody who has goals, or would like to, I don't know, take the next step in whatever area of their life, and they need that sort of helping hand, they need that accountability partner, really.
I think I have
help
a question
them get there.
It was posed by one of our members, but I think I have a question to put forward to you. So how do you kind of, if you do kind of not shut off, but at the end of the day, once you go home and once you're with your own family and relaxing, cooking your dinner, how do you kind of separate yourself from working and being so kind of heavily involved in helping people and being there for people? So I think I struggle with that in my life as well. I like to be there for people emotionally, to support people, but then I kind of spread myself a bit thin. So I'm wondering, if you do, how do you kind of separate the two basically? Or if you don't, how do you kind of,
well, it is a tough one, because I suppose you never really switch off, right? And I mean, we're human, and, you know, it's about, especially when you are generally quite empathetic, you kind of have that you're always, I don't know, sort of, you can get quite invested. But I think for me, it's to constantly remind myself that, you know, that person is not a victim, and they are in control, fully in control of their own journey.
Yeah.
right? So if you start, see, the difference is if you see somebody as a victim, you're there, you're going to want to go into rescue mode. Hey, I need to help that person. But really and truly, they don't need rescuing.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got what it is. You've got what it takes inside you, and I think I realised this myself, that I didn't realise I had the courage to overcome many things that I have. But you know, when you really dig deep, it's there. I do believe that everyone has that. So I think it's about reminding myself that, okay, this person's got this. Okay, it might take them a little bit of time, but they are going to get there. And it's about constantly having that belief in my abilities as a coach to sort of be there, to sort of, provide them with the tools, to sort of help them along their way. And
that's a really good mindset
to believe
to have,
in them.
Mishali, honestly. Really good mindset to have, amazing. And what would you say some of kind of the positives and negatives are? This kind of plays into that same question of what are like the positives and negatives of actually being a coach and kind of actively seeing clients and seeing people who coaching people. What's kind of a positive and negative of that?
Yeah. So positives, I think I've always been somebody that wants to help people. So I suppose it all comes from service, doesn't it? So that is really a big factor for me, big positive. So it's really rewarding to be able to see that journey and to be able to help those people. So I say that's a positive because I love what I do. I don't actually have any negatives, if I'm honest.
Wow.
I don't think I do.
I mean, you're fully into this.
Do you know what? It's because I think I'm actually living my passion. Like I actually am now, and I think it's taken this many years to get here. But
you're extremely passionate. You can see it in the way you talk about your career. You're like radiating kind of positivity and like just passionate about your jobs. It's nice to see. It really is. It's good to see. It's kind of all positive, all kind of radiant sparkles. It's lovely. Sharifa, do you want to take over with the questions?
Yeah, sure. So one of the questions, are there any topics you do not coach on? So are there like some certain areas that you're like, I do not fit to coach you in that like field or area?
Yeah, it's a good question. But no, I don't think there are, because firstly, so I focus on empowerment and mindset, which, as I said, relates to all aspects of your life. But really and truly, when you're coaching the client as opposed to the topic. So it's not about, okay, this person, when the topic isn't the problem. The client is the one who has the problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Like one of that also brings us to one of Raj's questions. He just asked that, Mishali, how do you deal with clients that are not making the positive steps after working with them for a little while? I mean, I do not see how someone not being positive after like talking to you.
I love you.
I feel great.
Yeah, I really don't see it how, but you deal with this.
Well, I think it's got to go back to them to sort of ask them, how important is that goal to them? Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that you sort of have to get that answer pretty early on, right? That if that goal doesn't hold that much value to them and it's not important, their why really isn't important enough. That's the biggest problem. So if you want something badly enough, you will do whatever it takes. You will take the steps. You will do the work to get you there.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's like, nah, well, I kind of like to do that, that's where the problem is, because you're not going to do the work to do that. So there's no point of a client turning up to the session and saying all the right things. Okay, so I'm going to leave and I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. And then coming back the following week, have you done it? No. How did you get on? Oh, didn't do it. If that's a repetitive cycle, really, I think I'd have to, you know, recontract with them and say, hey, hold on. Right. How important is this to you? Because if it's not, is there something else that is more on your mind? Or what is it that, you know, what is it that is taking precedence over this? Because clearly there's something else that's more important out, you know, that they are spending their energy on or focusing on. And if not, if it is just a case that they just don't, you know, just not motivated enough to do the work, well, it's probably not worth their while nor my while to continue with the sessions. If that makes sense. Because I mean, really, it's not about, you know, it's not okay, it's a business, it's a job, fair enough, but it's really about how I can help them. And if I'm adding no value to their life by these sessions, is it really worth their time or mine?
Yeah.
You know, because it's about, I think it's about an exchange of energy. I mean, I can bring all the energy in the world, but if that's not coming back, you know, that we, you know, it may well be that if that client isn't taking these steps, is it that I'm not the right coach for them? Are you know, our energies, are we not aligned?
Yeah.
Would they maybe work better with somebody else? I don't know, but these are things that I'd have to address, because I don't see the benefit of continuing with a coaching relationship if we're not making any progress after, let's say, you know, a few weeks. And
it's kind of give and take.
Does that make sense?
Kind of relationship. Yeah, it's kind of any kind of relationship, friendship, colleague relationship. If you're not giving the same energy, it's just not going to work, is it? Yeah,
it's a partnership, right?
Agreement.
It's a collaboration.
Yeah, I get that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can't do the work.
Yeah.
I can't do the work for you.
Client has to with their coach. You know, if you're up for this coaching session or not, like in the first place.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Totally. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, that, you know, if somebody does, you know, want coaching, whatever it is they'd like to help with, it's just, I don't know. I think they have to have a big enough why.
Yeah.
Bottom line, you know, and if that's not strong enough, then there are chances that they won't do the work, because the motivation's on that.
So about finding the right person that's going to kind of balance it out, build each other up. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
So we have another question. It's actually like from Priya. What's been a difficult situation that you have experienced?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you must have at some point.
I have, I think. Well, okay, difficult situation, I would say. Okay, so I did have a client, and probably similar to this, where I felt that, you know, they turned up to the sessions every week, perfect, said the right things, yeah, okay, I'm going to do this, and, you know, really great, powerful sessions, but then went away, didn't do any of the, you know, things that they said they were going to, and it was a reoccurring, you know, thing week after week, and ultimately I felt they weren't ready for coaching. Mentally, they were going through certain things that, you know, in their own life that they felt, I think they needed, I just don't think they were ready for it, if I'm honest. So it was quite difficult in that, because that was, you know, quite early on when I started and sort of didn't know how to handle that. I was like, oh, okay, this person, you know, wants me to help them, but they're not doing any of the work. So what do I do? They, you know, they tell me they want to do this. They're telling me they're going to do this. And I can only help you as much as I can. So that was difficult. But yeah, you learn from it. So I think now I know, so from the beginning, you have a discovery call and you sort of, so I know now in my discovery calls, the biggest thing I ask is, how important is this to you?
Yeah.
Why is this important? You know, what would happen if this did happen? You know, if you did reach his goal, what would happen if you didn't ultimately? Because these are big things that can, you know, determine the dedication.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree, yes.
So, they're good this week. They're getting quite I'm quite involved in this
God.
week. They're quite good. And Priya said, how would you to somebody? Then that's with regards to the other one. So if it wasn't working, oh God.
Break it to them what the coaching
Yeah.
relationship.
So if you had a difficult
It's not
client, or
working,
not a difficult
or
client, but someone who kind of wasn't kind of playing ball and didn't want to improve themselves and kind of maybe kind of tried coaching on a whim and it's just not the right time, and how do you kind of go about delicately breaking it to them that it's probably not the right time?
I think it's just about having that honest, open conversation, because it's not serving them by having the sessions if they're not getting getting anything out of them. You know, there's no point having, you know, sessions just for the sake of having one, really. So I think it's just about having that conversation that, okay, look, you know, what is on your mind? You know, why are we going through this? What's going on? Find out from there, and then, you know, sort of take that decision together. That, okay,
we've got a good question.
What would you like to do?
Members, hey Ravi, thank you for that. That's a good question. Have you ever dealt with overthinkers, and how did you deal with them? Who doesn't want to take a positive aspect in life? Okay, so have you ever dealt with overthinkers, and how did you deal with them if they didn't want to take a positive aspect in life?
Overthinking. I haven't dealt with overthinkers because I think,
Yeah,
that's what we want them to do, right? Think. Really?
Yeah.
Listen to that inner voice, right? So that's what it really is. But someone that doesn't want to take a positive aspect in life, well, it doesn't help. I'm, you know, quite a positive person. So I think it's about uncovering that. Why? Why are they overthinking? There's got to be some reason deep down that is causing them to be that way. You're not just, you know, born an overthinker or a negative,
kind of finding the root of the problem,
you know,
and kind of dissecting
person.
why.
And that's what it is. I mean, that's the whole thing. You know, when it comes to coaching, it's about, you know, uncovering those layers, really. That, okay, that's fine. Okay, you think that way.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's definitely,
where's that come from? And it could be so deep rooted. It could be something from childhood. It could be, you know, as I said before, conditioning from.
See, I overthink
it's just been that way.
Kind of immense detail. So I really, really think, like, I overthink everything. But I've worked out that I expect more. Like, I always expect the most from myself. So I feel like that's why I overthink everything in so much detail,
Yeah.
because I always expect greatness and the best like outcome possibly imaginable from myself. And if I don't kind of come close to that, I'm like, hang on a minute, why did that? And then my cogs get going and I start thinking through things. But I've kind of managed to scale that back a little bit now, again, with coaching, and kind of managed to work through it a little bit more.
Yeah. It's about finding out why is it so important for you to get that 100%? What is going to happen if you get that 98%?
It's a kind of give and take, like the yin and yang kind of levels of balancing expectations versus reality. I think that's kind of the best. Yeah, I think, yeah. I really think this week is a good one. We've had some really good questions, especially thank you so much, guys, for the questions from all of the members and stuff watching as well. Really appreciate it. We're not finished yet, but I just wanted to say thank you halfway through.
I think we missed a question. Actually, it was from Priya. I think, do you feel you have made an impact on your clients? Now, do you want me to answer that?
Yes, here we go. We've got a client right in front.
Because I'm an example.
Let me pose the question to you, Sharifa. Has Mishali positively impacted your life? And give me 3 reasons why.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, I like that.
Why? Well, okay, I'll tell you, because from the very first session, she actually listened. I never had that person in my life who would actually listen, you know, to each and every detail. And it's like she made me feel that, you know, I had so many negative thoughts about my life or how I want things in my life or myself even. And she actually made me feel really great about myself. It's like, you know, when she said that a coach is someone who's there at the end of the day to cheer you up and, you know, to celebrate your little accomplishments, even if it doesn't mean anything to you, even if it's, you know, it's not a big deal to you, but to them. And then when you actually discuss your accomplishments with them, it's actually like a big deal. So they make you feel as though, you know, you've actually done something, and then you get this whole positive energy to move forward and to accomplish more. So, you know, through like one session and the other, I have done so much. And then when I come and talk to her, she's like, I can already feel it. Like without even you trying to talk, I can actually feel it. So it's someone who listens, someone who already celebrates your little accomplishments, and they give you this huge push forwards. It's like you can actually guide yourself. You don't need someone to tell you what to do. Because, you know, as human beings, we know that we have these little problems that we actually wait for someone to come and give us solutions, or to guide us, or, you know, to, you know, advise us, when at the end of the day, it's all about you. You know, if you have a problem, you can actually solve it. You don't need therapy. You don't need someone to, you know, fix your own problems. You can actually do it as a human being. Deep down inside, you know what's actually right for you.
Amazing.
So this is what a coach does.
I bet that's so lovely for you as well, Mishali, to kind of hear that firsthand, kind of on the spot, honest.
Yeah, absolutely. It's rewarding to see that, you know, it's actually helped. And, you know, I've had, you know, really good testimonials, and, you know, people, you know, said some really nice things. And it's not just for the sake of, okay, look, you know, but I've seen the results of some of my clients, and I just think it's amazing that I think it's really just about how invested they are.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's not my journey.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just here to help you on yours.
It really is. It's lovely to hear it as well firsthand, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I like you.
Yeah, really amazing.
Thank you, Sharifa.
Sharifa, do you want to move on to the next question?
What are the expectations people should have of a life coach?
A good one.
Okay, so I think I said it before, but I think the fact that the coach is not there to advise you, mentor you, rescue you, really just somebody that's going to be there, hold your hand and guide you along your journey. So, I mean, expect a coach to ask you some deep questions, because in order to, you know, sort of facilitate any change, you have to go deep, because you don't want to, you don't want it surface level, okay? Because if you don't get to the cause of the belief or the issue or the hurdle, it's going to come back.
Keep resurfacing and keep causing the same problem.
And it will resurface different aspects, different areas, different times in your life. So it's about addressing that, owning it, you know, acknowledging it first and foremost, and moving forward. Right? And that's what it is. And I mean, with a coaching session, there is no judgment.
Yeah.
All right. It's a safe space. You're there, you know, to open up, be vulnerable.
I completely agree with that.
And, you know, once you've sort of started opening up, you'll start finding the answers to your own questions. So I think anything, you know, to expect, you know, an expectation of a life coach is just to have somebody who is there to listen, and somebody who is really, who has that empathy.
Yeah.
And you have to have that connection, because if you don't, you know, it's got to be somebody that you can speak to and you feel comfortable opening up. That's the most important thing. Yeah. I think.
No, I like that.
I don't know if I answered that.
I suppose it kind of links back into the same kind of the understandings of the relationship between yourself and the clients that you have. I think it all kind of links back to the same thing. Like, if you don't have the correct relationship and understanding of who you're working with, and they don't have the same kind of understanding of where you're coming from as well, it's just not really going to work out. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And it's about boundaries. And I suppose you've got to have that respect for each other's boundaries. That, look, it's not like this is a client, this is a coach. You're equal. This is an adult to adult conversation. All right, we're having a chat, and it's about, you know, I think for me especially, I do believe that you've got to respect that client, you know, as an equal, as I don't know how to put it actually.
Sort of.
It's mutual respect, and it's also that, look, they have what it takes within them. They're not a victim. Okay, so just to see them, that, okay, you know, really just about seeing them for who they are.
I like that. It's a nice way of thinking about it as well.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh, he's so sweet. Sneaking in. I feel like, Sharifa, have we covered all the questions? Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, I do have a question. Mishali, do you coach your friends, like family friends, or, you know, part of your family, a sister? You know, do you coach them?
I have.
And is it hard, you know, because this is like actually my actual question. Do you think it's hard, you know, because, you know, you're a coach, you can't tell people what to do, but, you know, when it's your sister or a friend, you actually tell them what to do. You advise. But, you know, as a coach, you can't do that. So how can you, like, separate yourself from a coach?
It is hard. It's about self-control. It's about your, oh my gosh, I struggle with this. But then it's something that you practice and you detach.
Yeah.
Okay. In this coaching session, I am not your sister. In this coaching session, I am not your friend. This is because, let's just say, right? I mean, I've always been that person that people come to for advice.
Yeah.
So easy to say, hey, you should do da 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 da. Really and truly, do they do that? Maybe sometimes. Other times they're like, nah, you know, because you're not going to do what somebody else tells you to do.
Yeah.
You're going to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So it's actually more effective for me to coach them and get them to come to their own conclusions and own answers to move forward.
Yeah.
And I mean, I actually did coach my sister really, really like quite some time back, long time back. And even I wondered, oh, am I going to be able to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's about detaching, and I completely just detached, that I, you know, just see her as her. She's, you know, not my sister, not anyone. And when I did that, when I took that step back, my questions were just, they went a little bit deeper. And because you see, when you sort of think that somebody you know, you kind of think, oh, I know this about them. Oh, yeah. I know that. And it's almost like self-control. It's about holding back.
Yeah, you
like,
almost kind of
imagine I knew nothing
clean
about
and
them.
pretend that you don't actually know anything about them. Start fresh, go in, hi, what's your name, kind of thing, don't you?
Yeah. Totally. I mean, there are instances where, you know, there may be somebody, friends, family, that might be too close, that you think, okay, I can't coach them
Like
because I'm not going to be impartial. I cannot. Yeah. And you're too emotionally attached that you think, okay, you know, you can't, you know that you're not going to be able to detach.
Yeah.
Or whatever they say might trigger this, or, you know, so then it's probably not the wisest move to coach them. And probably, you know, there's a whole network of coaches that, you know, I know, and happy to put them forward to, you know, put them in contact with someone else. So it is a case of making that decision that, okay, look, can I detach from that person? And, you know, you know, it's not going to be effective for either party.
Yeah.
If you can't. So really it's about self-control.
Yeah, I understand that. I think that was a good one. Good question, Rufa.
Yeah. Do you think that, you know, you should like be at a certain age to actually coach someone?
Do you think it takes like a certain amount of life experience or kind of personal experience? No.
Yeah.
I think, okay, what makes each coach different to each other? Yeah, personal experience, their own journey. But really and truly, it's about being that person that has empathy, that wants to help, that wants to serve. It's about your own. I wouldn't say you're not an expert on life. Listen, my life, I've got my own problems. You've got problems. Everyone's got problems. Nobody's life is perfect. So this whole thing that, oh, you're a life coach, oh, you must have your life together.
Yeah.
Listen, everyone's working on stuff. That's the joy. That's the thing. That we're all a work in progress, right? But what makes you a life coach is having that ability to listen, to have empathy, to be able to, you know, and there's a big difference between empathy and sympathy, because you're not feeling sorry for them. You're sort of, you know, you're sort of trying to understand what it is that they're going through. And certainly, like certain life experiences may have, I suppose, there may be certain things that you can relate to. But then these also might be things that trigger you. Okay. So it's not necessary that you have to have experienced all these things, because you're using tools, you're using, you know, you're listening, you're asking questions.
Yeah.
You know, so these are all, no, I don't think there is an age, you know, that you have to be a certain age, because I know coaches that are quite, you know, they're young, they're in their 20s. I know coaches that are a lot older.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think definitely.
Once you're kind of introduced to a client, what do you call the people that you're coaching? How do you refer to them? Because I'm trying to figure out a word in speaking. A client, yeah? Because what would you call it? Like a coachee? Coachee? Yeah? Because I'm trying to like suss out a word that sounds kind of nice. And I think coachee sounds quite good. So say when you first... No,
yeah,
I didn't make it up at all.
Love,
no?
that's it. Okay. No,
so when you first meet a coachee, what's kind of your go-to questions, like top 3 of what you kind of straight off the bat once they walk in? Hi, my name's Mishali. Where do you go from there?
Okay, top 3 questions. I suppose really the first thing would be, what are the current challenges that they are facing in their life at the moment? To sort of gauge what it is, what brought them to this call. Yeah, no, that would be probably the first one. So what brought you to this call?
Yes.
Because there's got to be something, like you're reading something online or whatever it is, and for you to actually click that button and say book a call, what was it? What was going through your mind?
Something's obviously led you to this particular point. What is it? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because that all tells that sort of tells me like the most important, you know, what's important to them, the most pressing. And then moving forward, probably just about what it is that their goal is, or you know, and how important it is. How big is their why? Why is it important? You know, what does their life look like after this? How will it impact their life? And also, what is the outcome if they don't achieve that?
Yeah.
You know, I want to see both sides.
Yeah.
To sort of gauge how important that is.
They are to reaching these goals, and
how
much they're willing to put into it. Yeah, I get that.
Totally, because it says a lot about how much work they're prepared to put into it. Yeah. And then just finally, probably, well, not finally, like the start of the conversation, but third question probably be, what have they currently, what's held them back from getting there? What's stopping them from getting there till now?
Yeah.
Really, to sort of find out, you know, what are the big obstacles that they've, you know, come across. And yeah, so I think they're sort of, it's really just about why they're there, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Good. I actually really enjoyed that live Q&A. I think we finished up all the questions that we had, haven't we, Sharifa? Yeah. If any of the members have any questions down below at the moment, then feel free to pop them over to me, and then they'll kind of pop up in the bottom if anyone sends over any questions. But yeah, how did you find that, Mishali, kind of being on a live Q&A? Is this your first Q&A that you've done? Yeah? Oh, you've done amazing.
Yes, really? Totally. First live, first.
Honestly, you did amazing. I feel like this has definitely been one of the most kind of flowing ones that we've done.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I was telling Sharifa when I spoke to her earlier, I said, this is me stepping out of my comfort zone, becoming my fear.
Yes.
I was like, do you know what? Just roll with it.
You really have.
Thank
No,
you.
thank
No,
you.
thank you for
Honestly, thank you
inviting
so
me.
much for
It's really
joining us. Thank
kind.
you so much for coming on. We it's
Yes,
amazing. Thank you
really,
so
thank
much for
you.
spending the evening with us and for answering our questions.
No,
Yeah, it's been
absolutely. It's
lovely.
been a pleasure. Be
Yeah, it's
nice
been
to
lovely getting to know you
some
this evening. 'Cause
point.
obviously, I haven't had a conversation with you at all until right now. So it's been lovely getting to know you this evening. And yeah, thank you so much, ladies, for coming on
Yeah.
with us this evening. Everyone in the comment section,
Yeah.
thanks for coming on, and we shall see you in a couple of weeks for the next one.
Yes.
See you. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye, guys.